Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Band Journals, and in this video I'm finally getting around to sharing a full flip through of my newest art journal that I've made for myself. So I've made this in the same style as my previous art journals. So this was my very first one that I ever made for myself, and the first one that I filled up. So I used this beautiful sweet floral fabric, and it is using like the backing of a paper pad, so you know that sort of chipboard type of material at the back of a paper pad. I used that, just folded it in half and turned it into this cover, covered it with fabric on the inside. And I've already shared a full flip through of this art journal, but this is one I started in December last year, and it was just a place for me to have a creative outlet and to record any thoughts or feelings or lessons that I was learning. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. There's necessarily no order to it. There's more just like an outlet, yeah, for me to journal on any page at any time about anything. And this was the very first page that I did, and it set the tone for the journal, and I love this page. And then I ended up making this one. This one I used a small envelope, just folded it in half and collaged over the top and added tissue paper. I've also done a full flip through of this one. This one is an art journal that I use specifically for Messy May, which is a journaling challenge every year. And I loved this one as well. This one, there were prompts, and this one, there were also videos you could follow along with, and you could try different techniques, different materials, different styles, you know, like these different types of pages. And I actually started this journal to give me a play area to experiment for pages for my book that I am working on this year. So some of the pages that I have included in these have made their way into my book. So these were inspiration. And then these two, to show you this as well, because I love this size so much for this art journaling style, I thought I would just keep making more and more like this. So I love the sweet floral fabric for this style as well. So this is another one using the back of a paper pad, and it's so beautiful. And then this one, there was another back of a paper pad. I haven't finished the inside, and it was a slightly different size of paper pad, so that's why it's a bit different. But yeah, love, love, love. So this is my newest one, the next one in the collection, number 3. And this one is made out of another backing from a paper pad. And the fabric is actually from a pillowcase. So, you know, just handed down, thrifted, or upcycled. I love sort of the vintage look to it and the beautiful florals. And let's get into a flip through. So I just included more of the fabric on the inside this time. And when I put my journals together for my own personal journaling, I like blank pages, all blank pages, because that way I feel free to cover every page and do whatever I want on that page. Add photos, add writing, add ephemera, do whatever I want. But I also love vintage. So this one, I added a lot of vintage end papers from books, which I love doing because I love books, and vintage ledger papers, and just all sorts of different types of papers. So for art journaling, it lends itself more to having a variety of pages because you're going to cover it up anyway most of the time. So I do have a different set of pages here. What I have noticed though is I made this quite a while ago, months ago, and I still haven't used it. So my fear is that I've actually put in too many nice pages. I've put in some of my favorite pages, these vintage ledgers. I love them so much that I sort of feel like this journal has now become too precious and I don't want to use it. Whereas these journals I just put together with random papers that I wasn't attached to. They've still got a variety of pages, but I wasn't attached to these pages. This one was all made using end papers from books. completely only made from end papers from books. So again, I wasn't really emotionally attached to them. This one, I don't know, I've used my favorite vintage ledgers, and that's made me very afraid to use it. So note to self, use pages that you're not attached to, because they're the ones I'm most likely to have no problem with getting straight in there and using and covering up. But I thought it wouldn't be that hard because I have multiples of all of these vintage pages, and yet I still haven't been able to bring myself to use it. I think because this is the first time I've made myself one with these vintage pages, and that's always been my intention. My intention is to collect so many vintage ledgers and so many vintage pages of my favorite types that eventually I make, a big multi-signature, bigger journal, my type of journal, and make a big beautiful journal out of my favorite pages. But again, I probably wouldn't use it because yeah, it's really weird. The less attached you are to the pages, for me anyway, the more likely I am to use the journal. But since I do have multiples of all of these pages, I should just go ahead and do it, shouldn't I? I think the other reason though, to be honest, why I haven't been using this journal yet is because I am working on the pages for my book, and that's sort of enough of a creative outlet. I don't really need to, I'm not finding myself drawn to using this just yet because I already have an outlet for my thoughts, for my feelings, for creating pages for my book. And basically, yeah, all of the things that go in here are things that would go in my book anyway. The thoughts, the feelings, the struggles that I'm going through, the lessons that I'm learning, the things that I'm thinking about. These are draft pages anyway. So because I'm working on the book right now, maybe that is also why I haven't really been drawn to using this one yet. I really want to, I do want to, but yeah, I guess I just don't feel a need to yet, and that's okay. It's there for me when I am ready at the right time. And the most important thing really is just that you have some outlet for your creativity, for your heart and soul to be poured out onto the page, and have that be whatever it is, whether it's an art journal, whether it's a junk journal, a glue book, whether it's just a plain writing journal, or whether it's not journaling at all and it might be I don't know, writing songs or writing poetry, or okay, that's still writing, something else, maybe dancing or creating in some other way. But I don't know, for me, I need a creative outlet for my soul survival, for my sanity. And I'm a writer. I like journaling. I like writing my thoughts and feelings out. That's how I clear my head. That's how peace replaces the restlessness inside of me. That's how I process. That's how I get clarity. It's how I find direction. It's how I understand more about myself. It's how I give myself more grace. It's how I connect with God a lot of the time, and hear from Him and talk to Him and pray through my writing and journaling. And I'm also a memory keeper, so I do love adding all of the photos and ephemera. So I think those are the three main things. I'm a writer, I am a memory keeper, and I'm creative. So put all those three things together, and that's what I get with my art journals. And yeah, that's taken time for me to figure that out. And that's not always the way I want to do it. Like I haven't always been an art journaler. Sometimes I just write, just plain writing. Other times I want to paint around. Other times I just want to collage. But I always tend to need some sort of creative visual outlet just for my own peace. And I know a lot of you creatives out there can relate to that. So I encourage you, find whatever works for you. Find the journaling style, the journaling size, the journaling papers that really make you want to use the journal and gives you that creative outlet that is for your own joy, for your own eyes only maybe, and for your own love of doing it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.